Oh, yeah. Welcome to Pot of Thunder, the recognized symbol of excellence in rock and roll podcasting, brought to you by Blue Microphones. They look great. They sound even better. And guess who it is? You know me.
Here's my buddy Andy.
That's right. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother. And as always innovating over there on the couch. It's the one, the only, gnarly Nick. Bam! Bam! The Garlic Dragon in the house.
Thank you for having me. It's not a guarantee. People might think it's a standing invite. I have to be invited back every
time. And about 385 times you've been asked back. So
well, you can always, can't take it for granted.
No, but that's a high percentage. Nick brought his, what did you say it was called? A musical
it's
machine?
A hand-cranked music movement.
Hand-cranked music movement. That's what he had today. With the Pot of Thunder theme. Nick's always putting in overtime for the show, so always appreciate it. And over there, Nick, when you came in, did you check?
I did.
Okay, good. Was it on tight? Was the roof on tight?
It was, but it might not matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. That roof stands no chance because you want him. We got him. Who is it?
I think we need a gunslinger, somebody tough to tame this town. I think we need a gunslinger. There'll be justice all around.
Speaking of hand cranking, succumb to my power, my age, and my weight, all of which are considerable.
Speaking of movements.
Yes.
Yes, there he is, the breakout star of the podcast medium. Put your hands together for Chris L.
Fresh off of a flauta run.
Ooh.
He made it.
So, yeah.
He made it.
Yeah, it was good, though.
No danger?
Not
Feeling
yet.
good? All right.
Not
if
yet.
If this is a 20-minute episode, then
then we're okay.
Things could go south in a hurry. We all know this.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we are. Nick's dressed in his...
I don't care tonight.
Oh, I'm actually complimenting you. Your Detroit Red Wings red and white Zubaz pants with your Red Wings patch. You deserve a compliment for that.
I didn't see the Red Wings patch.
Yeah.
It's actually a custom. It's sewn on. It does not come this way.
No. That's the only way Nick would have it, but hey, I like it. Anytime I see those pants, I have to call attention to them.
You still have yours?
I do. Yeah. Yep.
You have Red Wings pants?
I have Flyers pants. Yeah. The tiger striped Zubaz with a Flyers patch on them. All right, guys. What are we going to do today? Is it my turn? I think it is.
I think it's yours.
Oh, this is going to be trouble.
You usually don't get your turns without some kind of
malarkey.
Some kind of obstacle, but I think you're okay today.
That's good. I'm going to turn on this mood light. What do you think of that? It's like a little lantern.
Look at that.
It's flickering.
Son of a gun.
Love it. All right. So
hold on a second.
Uh-huh.
What's this absolute nonsense I got in this group text from both of you?
I was trying
What is this app?
I was trying to get past it.
No.
Without you bringing it up.
Yeah, you were about to...
I was about to go to the song.
You were about to hit the pewter.
Yeah.
No.
Professor Andy.
What is this?
I don't know. We're getting an earful.
I
Chris and Andy are getting an earful from Nick right now.
Well, they deserve it. Let me see if I can find these.
The holidays were rough on my body.
Let's see if I can find these exceedingly masculine quotes that you guys put out.
Andy started it, so...
Andy.
And then Chris felt safe enough to...
4:55 p.m. Just to give everybody an idea.
Yeah.
And I quote, I'm going to have to sit out on the baked treat today, if there is one. I'm on a day 5 of a hardcore diet, getting shredded. Chris, immediately afterwards, I'll take mine to go. I'm also on a diet, intermittent fasting. My eating window ends at 6:30.
True statement.
Well, to which Nick replied,
Don't you think I got enough bullshit on my mind?
Andy's fault. He started it.
Still brought 2 treats.
Yeah, I'm taking mine to go.
So Andy might not be taking any.
When my window opens
like.
up again tomorrow, I'll enjoy it. But So did you make these?
Yeah, these
With
are
the reindeer indentation on
Oh
them?
man.
Yeah, it's another Christmas gift. I got that little music box thing, and I got these nice like wooden handled metal stampers for cookies.
I gotta take
For
a look at
shortbread.
that. I'm gonna pull an Ultimate Warrior. Have you ever heard on one of those documentaries? They're talking about how he's obviously a body guy. He would take a cookie. Oh, that looks nice. And he would crumble it up in his hands, and then take a big smell, and then throw it in the garbage. And that was how he would consume treats.
Wow.
So that's what I'm gonna have to do.
He was not a world champion at everything, apparently.
No.
But yeah,
You know
these are some cardamom shortbread cookies.
Yeah, that's gonna be good for somebody.
What is the
Not
what,
you.
what is your hardcore diet over there, Andy?
That's
mean,
when I said hardcore, I just meant I'm not straying from. I'm cutting out all desserts and fast food.
Fast food.
It's out. I'm doing like
How the hell are you going to survive? That's all you eat.
You don't
cooking
like
at home.
anything else.
Cooking at home.
No
Bake.
more Pizza Hut.
Not for a while. Grilled chicken.
Wait, Arby's is going to go out of
Arby's is-
business?
yeah. Yeah. When you see the sign,
They're one customer here in Munster.
Times have been tough already.
yeah. When you see the going out of business sale at Arby's,
This
it's
unit
my
is
fault.
closed.
Yeah,
sign
exactly.
goes up.
You can go buy a case of frozen potato. What are those called? Potato cakes?
Potato cakes. Yeah. Yep.
When they're just clearancing the frozen potato cakes.
Mm-hmm.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a major development from you.
Yeah. Every couple of years. Let's see. About every 4 years, I decide that it's time to drop a few.
Oh, yeah. You get to a point where you have to move in the other direction.
Yeah.
I reached that point as well, so
Yeah.
see what happens.
That's it. Yeah. I might give up on it. Who knows? But before this episode comes out, there might be pictures of me at Arby's that have leaked. So I may break by then, but I've been 5 days in so far. So
You
Try
know,
for a couple
No
weeks.
pizza.
no pizza.
how
no,
often?
nothing.
Yeah.
No pizza.
Nothing.
Period.
No.
Wow.
Pizza. Well, you can make pizza at home. There are ways around this.
Well, you could
This
do like a
madness.
cauliflower crust or something.
That's nice.
Oh, you're that hardcore.
Yeah. I'm not eating any bread.
Oh.
Yeah. None
No
of that.
carbs
No
then,
carbs.
basically?
No carbs.
It works. It's just tough.
It's hell,
It is hell.
but it works.
Is it what? Probably like a first couple weeks, and then after that, you're kind of used to it, or is it still bad?
Well,
You've done it before,
It's-
though, right?
I've done it 2 other times. Chris can go ahead if you have thoughts on it.
I've done it. It works, but no. Eventually, you cave in because it's for me. It's impossible to stick to over the long term.
Yeah, it's balls to Picasso. At
Yeah,
some
exactly.
point.
I don't want to stick to it long term either. Like I want to enjoy all the food I enjoy, but like
Right,
you
but-
said, there comes a point where you might have to roll it back a little bit for a while to
and
fit
this-
into your clothes.
Well, sure.
This
yeah.
time of year is
Yeah.
probably the most common.
Yeah, well, for sure.
For that,
yeah,
yeah.
and it makes sense. You got all the treats around and all the. I don't know. Normally, on any other year of our lives, all the like shopping and eating garbage while you're shopping, but that didn't really happen this year, so can't blame it on that. But whatever, we'll see how it goes. But that looks like a lovely baked treat, Nick, and I think it's worthy of a song, even if we're not going to be munching on it right now.
Oh, well.
Time for a baked treat. Baked treat.
Oh, indeed.
People will be glad not to hear us eating into the microphone for a while. I think
Well, these blue microphones pick it up.
They do.
They do.
Really well. Yeah, I don't care. That's what. If this was a career, maybe we wouldn't eat into the microphones.
We probably would.
We probably would anyway, but we do what we want.
We'd have flipped our wigs at this point.
That's true. Yeah. So it's gonna be my turn. Nick, you're not eating one right now. You just brought them for us to.
Well, they're here.
I'm trying my best not to look at that thing. I like reindeer.
There's
so
there's a reindeer and
That's
there's some
tempting.
ornaments, and There's a third one that I didn't bring. It's kind of like holly, and then two birds kind of. It looks like almost beak to beak, like almost like a romantic.
Lovebirds, if you will.
Lovebirds, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That'd be good.
So any of you guys out there who are looking to charm a lady, I'll send you a screenshot, or I'll send you a picture, the cookie and the box that has the stampers in it. You can get your own.
Yeah, you could say, "Oh, I made this for you," but
that's
I
me,
but I
and
dropped
that's you.
it. Yeah, but I dropped it. You want to hang out later? I can't make it again. Oh, but the dog licked it. Sorry. All right, so it's my turn. We're going to the list. We're up there. What is it? 3,193 songs to choose from today. And it is time for Nick to turn up the volume, yank off the knob.
We got it all.
We got it all on Pot of Thunder. Nick, give it to us.
Here we go.
Cha-ching.
Stand by. Let's go over to the Bozo Pewter.
So I got number 1896. Not that anyone cares, but that's where we're at on the list.
Okay. Let's see. 1896. Nope, can't think of who the president was that year.
It'd be impressive if you could.
It was right before Teddy Roosevelt, but I can't think of who it was. McKinley? I'm going to go McKinley.
No one's going to argue with you. I think it's McKinley.
I think it's McKinley. I think he was murdered.
What was he, the
the
21st president?
I don't know, but he was murdered.
No, that was Polk, I think. I don't know what I'm talking about. What happened to him? He was just shot and killed? Was he the one who was shot in the White House? Or was that no one?
No, I don't think that was anybody. No, I don't remember where he was. Garfield was the one before him who got shot. Not directly before him, but the assassination before him was Garfield, and he got shot at a train station, I think.
Okay. That's what I meant.
And guess who was there? Little historic anomaly here. A little fun fact. Who was nearby at the first 3 presidential assassinations?
What?
Robert Todd Lincoln.
Really?
He was there. He was present at all 3.
What? I didn't know.
At Lincoln's, Garfield's, and McKinley's. He was in the vicinity.
Did not know that.
I think
suspicious about that guy.
I think we need to investigate.
Yeah, what's he got in that beard?
Nick might have just cracked open a cold case.
Well, can't hide forever.
I was not aware of that.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That's back when presidential assassinations were happening on the regular. It was no big deal back in those days.
No
you
kidding.
almost expected it.
Well, I remember in history class, our high school teacher told us that since Lincoln and up to Reagan, every president, it was every 20 years, whoever was the president died in office, whether health reasons or assassination. Then Reagan got shot, broke the curse, apparently.
Because he didn't die.
Because he didn't die.
Wow. That's crazy. Who knew? So this whole time I've been debating this song. I feel like
I gave you some time.
Yeah, you did. And I'm going to go with it.
Really?
Yeah.
First poll.
I'm going to go with it.
Any particular reason? Is there a comment?
The comment is N-A.
Great.
Not needed.
He actually typed it in.
Yeah.
But
it's like, why would you even...
Well, this must be something that everybody knows very
it
well.
Is. It is. But, all right. I'm going to go with it. So, let's turn the microphone over to Chris Jericho.
All right, Hannah. This one's called
5 Minutes Alone.
Off of
Far Beyond Driven.
by the band
Pantera.
Well, this gives us a vehicle to promote one of Nick's greatest videos.
Speaking of presidential assassinations, it's in the video.
Oh, that's right.
Sort of.
Well, the aftermath. The assassination of the assassin, if you will.
Yeah. That's a weird coinky dink.
How about that? That's in the... your video or the video real video for
no,
the song?
the Pot of Thunder.
Yeah.
5 minutes alone
yeah.
video.
Okay.
With the father of one of Nasser's victims. Wasn't that it?
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Can't blame the guy.
asked the judge if he could have 5 minutes alone with the guy.
Right.
And was seemingly shocked when that wish wasn't granted, so he attempted to charge at the what do they call where the witness sits? Just the
don't
witness stand
Witness
or whatever.
stand.
And
Defendant.
he was intercepted less than halfway there
Yeah.
and buried into the floor.
Can't blame the guy though.
Can't blame him, but also you know that.
Lives were
Like-
destroyed.
But like Chris said, he seemed surprised that he was not granted that
He
wish.
was. I don't know that he was surprised. I think he was expecting it.
Yeah, and he was just again,
He knew he had it. I think planned out what was.
Well,
gonna
of
go down.
course he did. And look, it's terrible what happened to his family, but the guy just he conducted himself like a jackass because, again, he's the one who got his ass kicked in front of everybody.
Yeah, but I feel like, who knows? Obviously, it's a situation we've not been in, so we don't know how we'd react. But I feel like if you really wanted to go for it, you just go for it. Don't draw attention to yourself, make a scene, and then ask for 5 minutes to fight that person. Because then they're on to you. You're not getting through.
That it's a preposterous request.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
You
least
just
from-
go
from
for
the-
it. They wouldn't, if everyone had their backs turned, you just went for it. You could get a shot in on the guy.
and
Stab him with a pen or something.
Unless-
I don't know if you're that enraged.
unless you're the Capitol Police Force, anybody else on the planet is going to sense something is about to happen. It's going to
Apparently.
be prepared for it. And that's exactly what happened. They cut this guy down no more than halfway to his destination and
Yeah.
face planted him into the floor, and that was that.
Yep. So,
But the 5 minutes alone request inspired a video in which this song is the chorus of this song is the basis of it. It's a masterpiece.
Yep. So this one came to us from Mike Joslin.
Okay.
Now, let me double check. I'm pretty sure I'm right.
He's given us a
I
couple
think-
yards of questions, I believe. Right?
I think Mike Joslin gave us something recently. The Disturbed song was from Mike.
Okay.
So there you go. A couple episodes
Maybe,
ago, he got
yeah.
one. All right. So there you go. So obviously, I think maybe not all of us, but most of us know this song. The main reason I picked it is because Nick made that video in
boy.
reference to it.
That's why.
That was it. Yeah, I had to debate. I have no.
I also want to give either credit or blame, considering, or depending on how you feel about it. Chris, it was Chris's brainchild.
Okay, you just executed it.
Executed it.
So
Well, he took it and ran with it. I didn't envision any of that stuff, but it's a masterpiece. Will be posted possibly multiple times this week.
yeah.
Possibly even in response to every comment that we get on
There
the
you
initial
go. And
post.
that's an even better idea. Every tweet or retweet will be responded to with the link to the 5 minutes alone.
Kind of like years ago, the Valentine's Day episode where everybody got a heart candy, a customized heart candy picture.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Might have to do that this year.
Why not?
Why not?
All right. So here's what I'm thinking off the top of my head. What's this? 94, I want to say. Let's see if I'm
That
right.
sounds right.
94. Yes, it's 94. It's track 3. Strength Beyond Strength, Becoming, 5 Minutes Alone, I'm Broken. Top heavy album.
Yeah, that's quite a string of. It's rivaling the side one of Emergency by Cool Gang.
It's close.
And what did we
Minus the Cherish equivalent, of course. But
So there's got to be something similar. What would the
I think the closest one is we did it already, Cemetery Gates.
Cemetery Gates?
Yeah.
Or maybe what's that one? God, I can't.
Did they have did Pantera have a ballad on their more glam era releases?
It's possible. I don't know.
I'm sure.
I don't know it. I'll admit I'm not too familiar.
I'm not super versed in Pantera either, especially the album cuts. I have the Greatest Hits album, and that's it. I've never owned any of their standalone studio albums, which is probably surprising / disappointing to a lot of the lyrics. But it's just one of those bands that 100% respect for, but I just never felt the need to dive deep into the catalog. Can't explain it, but never gone there, so to speak.
I'm thinking maybe Hollow from Vulgar Display of Power is the closest we're going to get to Cherish.
Maybe.
Which is not even close to Cherish,
or
just to be clear.
Or this Love, maybe.
Or This Love, those two, yeah. Just because there are parts in them that are slower and not as heavy, that build to the heavy part. But I don't know. Every once in a while I have a Pantera, I don't know if phase is the right word, but it's something that comes and goes. But I never go super deep. It's just those two albums. Vulgar Display of Power.
Cowboys? Or
no,
this one?
and this one.
Okay.
Far Beyond Driven. But yeah, I guess the title track from Cowboys from Hell too would fall into that as well. But mostly Vulgar Display of Power. I think it's one of those, we've talked about this a million times, it's one of those tapes we had in the house.
Yeah.
So you heard it a lot.
And I think we had this CD.
This
in the
one?
House.
Yeah.
I think our older brother had
Brought
this
in
one.
by your roid head brother, Jay.
That's right.
Yeah, this is music for those kind of guys.
That's right.
Although, what sets them apart, obviously, is the last great guitar hero, really, Dimebag Darrell. I mean, in terms of like otherworldly playing and charisma and just this whole
and having a unique image and all that stuff too.
And when I say the last great one, there's a lot of debate about that, but the last one to emerge, obviously guys like Steve Vai and etc. are still alive. So we're not saying last man standing. The last one to emerge on the scene.
Totally different style, but what do you think of Jack White?
I don't consider
Is he
him
a guitar hero?
hero.
I don't consider that either, but I feel like that name always gets thrown into that conversation. Like, no, he's the last one. Yeah, and he's in that one movie with
it's gonna get loud.
Yeah,
rubbing elbows with Jimmy Page.
Yeah,
and that doesn't qualify him, in my opinion. It's just he might have that technical ability, but I think there's got to be that command of the instrument, that otherworldly element to you, that untouchable element, and Dimebag certainly had it. I mean, incredible player. And speaking sadly of assassinations, we all know how he went out, and nobody deserves that. What a shocker that was. I definitely remember that day.
Yeah, me too.
And that it just really terrible how he went out.
Was it 05? Maybe?
I think so. Sounds about right.
Sounds right.
I think I was at your cafe with you, like it would have been the next day when we were talking about it. I remember that kind of clearly for some weird reason. Yeah. Just being like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seem to remember the day after that was work day at Playboy. You weren't there yet. And we took a especially long lunch at O'Toole's, partially in mourning or remembrance of Dimebag. That was just another excuse to get shit-faced on company time at work, which we didn't need much in those days. Did the sun come up today? Let's go get shit-faced.
I'm sure he would appreciate that, though.
He would have, sure.
He would tip his cap to you, raise his glass, what have you.
But, it's just another one of those just shocking things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way to put it. Just the victim of a random act of horrific violence and insanity. But
insanity for sure.
I mean, that goes back to like the Beatle days where they were. I remember seeing a thing where they were getting death threats and things, and they were thinking, well, maybe while they felt safe. I forgot who it was, but I remember they felt safe while they were on stage. But yeah, they were getting death threats.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He was cut down in the act of performing, which is just horrible. And, by all accounts, a great guy, nice guy, crazy guy, but
he must have been a nice guy. Yeah,
that's all you hear is that.
You
him
never
and his
hear
brother were like the best.
You never
guys.
hear a bad word about those guys. I mean, except from Anselmo because of the internal strife that went on with them.
Rex.
Does he have something bad to say about those guys?
I think there was something with him and Vinnie Paul before Vinnie Paul passed because he put out a book and it painted him in a negative light.
Who knows if he was steered down that direction by the people who publish books. We have to sell books. Again, who's buying this shit?
Let's make this interesting.
What, it was Rex Brown's book or it was Vinnie Paul's book?
It was Rex Brown's book. Yeah. And he painted Vinnie. I remember reading the excerpt too, and it wasn't flattering.
Well, but, again, it's like, how much of that was he talked into?
Yeah.
Because, look, man, if you want to sell books, you gotta ratchet up the story a little bit. And who knows what kind of nonsense goes into that process.
Yeah, and you spend 20 years with someone all the time, you're going to have bad stories about them.
Well, of course you
So if you pop a couple of those out and then put them out of context, of course.
Oh, man, if I ever wrote a book
you have nothing
about
to say.
our bands. Oh, my
well,
goodness.
and it goes that with any band. It's like, what were you saying about the Ramones? They weren't even on speaking terms for almost the entire run of the band, It's like, how did they keep it together?
Yeah.
It's amazing. But, anybody who's been in a band knows it's like, it's basically a marriage. You're connected intimately with these other people, and you're gonna rub each other the wrong way and piss each other off, and it's a shame it came to that, and they said it was one of the things that set this guy off, that blamed Dimebag or something for the dissolution of Pantera, and that was the reason, which is outrageous, but mentally ill. Shit for brains.
There you go. That's what happens. You get the wrong information in the mind of a mentally ill shit for brains. Bad things happen. So, we better be careful what we say, because I know some of the listeners of the show.
And you just described our entire listener base.
Oh, boy.
Thank God there are no more indie Kiss expos. You show up at that thing and get executed.
I'm kidding.
They probably won't do that this year, will they?
I was going to say, you think they're ever going to do it again?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, it's last year it didn't happen because of fucking COVID, right? The main thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't, as long as Paul and Gene are walking the earth and the band is still an entity, but they didn't have it because of this COVID shit. But it's the last place I would want to go out, is in the lobby of that, hotel, taking a bullet from some maniac. No thanks.
No thanks.
Better ways to go. Just avoid going there for that reason.
No, thank you. All right. Nick, any thoughts on this before we roll it?
Just that I heard some Pantera on the TV a couple days ago, because my kids like watching SpongeBob right now.
Oh.
And very early episode, first season, I think, like very early, there's a Pantera. I think it's instrumental. I don't think there's any vocal on it at all, but it's a legit Pantera recording, like for the show. I think they gave it,
What was the context of it?
They were doing like extreme sports. There was a montage or something like that.
Okay.
And that was the music that was going on.
That would have been.
You hear the Dimebag dive bomb right off the bat. It's like, okay, I've heard that before.
What would that be, like 2000, 2001, something like that?
Yeah, or 99.
99, okay.
2000, somewhere. Yeah.
All right.
So the kids were listening to some Pantera the other day.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Getting them into it early. I think we're going to need the lyrics up on this one just because...
Yeah, I have no idea.
I've never been able to understand it.
Not only never been able to understand it, never really felt the need to dive into it. I mean, you hear the title and it's like, okay, this is a song about wanting to kill someone. So,
yeah.
I think the lyrics will be an interesting element here.
All right, I'm going to pull those up so we're ready. All right, guys. Track 3 of how many is this? Whatever. A whole bunch. 12.
A whole bunch of heavy. 12 is the perfect number
Yeah.
for if you're going to put out a CD and you have 11, dig something else up. Hurry up, throw something together. 12 is what you should be shooting for.
If you got 13, cut something.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of cutting something, this commercial's going to
I
cut
thought you were
one.
talking about some of that healthy stuff that you've been eating.
No, I think it's time for a commercial.
Okay.
What'd you think, Nick? Good one?
I used to work there.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They let me go because I clocked in late.
Oh, you clocked in the wrong department too.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, you were intoxicated.
Yeah.
And you went to sleep on the toilet.
I don't remember any of the things you just said, but I also think that it might be true.
No, only the last part's true.
Okay.
Coincidentally, it was the same shift where he put chocolate sauce on the earpiece of his boss's phone.
And then called him from my cell phone.
Yeah, and all these things blended together to bring an end to his employment.
That was a highlight of my life.
Oh, yeah.
The chocolate
That's
sauce move.
old school. Classic.
Wish
That's right. That's right up there with the hot foot in terms of a classic boondoggle playing on somebody.
I've never gotten anybody with a good one.
Well,
It's
there's
too
the
late.
one.
It's
That's
too
the
late.
one.
That's a good one.
Hot foot.
No,
the chocolate sauce on the earpiece.
Yeah.
Although there are no earpieces anymore. You have to sauce up somebody's cell phone.
Yeah.
Well,
And people's cell phones are never out of their hands.
in the office, there are still earpieces.
yeah, Nick's got a
No, that's
office
true.
with regular phones.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I
what you
suppose.
need to make it work, though. Classic. All right, here we go. Give it to us.
We talk about whenever they come up, iconic drum intros.
Yeah.
To me, this is one of them.
Yeah.
I know immediately. It's one that I remember hearing it back when it came out. At least a couple times a week, probably without thinking of it.
It's popping in your
It
head.
pops in my head, yeah. And I'm probably like,
Now still?
yeah,
Or back then? Okay.
yeah,
Wow, no.
and the main riff and everything like that. Like
Yeah.
Pantera they were so good. I mean, I know they're called groove metal, and it's for a good reason because they were so good at that. Even the drum parts. It's like I say this about Tommy Lee also, but the drum parts can stick in your head, which not very many bands really are able to get it to that level of memorability.
Well, and they're called groove metal, in my opinion, because their tempos were right there in the sweet spot. Not too slow, not too fast. Right in the perfect wheelhouse to, get a groove on, for lack of a better term. And the drums on just about all Pantera stuff, super compressed.
Yeah.
But not like... When you say super compressed, you're like, okay, they're over compressed. No, they're absolutely compressed to the nines, but again, right in the sweet spot where it's just so punchy and so in your face that it's really and it's who is it? Terry Dade, is he the guy who produced these albums?
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's Terry, yeah.
Yeah, he had the formula down. It's not really an organic drum sound, but it's also not that shitty reverb drenched drum sound of like the '80s bands. A lot of them. This is.
It's not a dynamic drum sound.
No, because the compression pulls all dynamic.
There's only one snare hit that you hear ever on a Pantera. Like there's very rarely. Well, I don't know all their material, but when they're playing, when it's heavy like this, it's every hit sounds massive.
And we all know they did a cover of Cat Scratch Fever. I'm of the opinion that their version is actually slightly better than the original. It's a hot take for sure. But speaking of Nugent, this intro reminds me of the first drum entry in Stranglehold, where it's just kick and snare. Yeah, but that's all you need. So perfectly done. And then I mean, this is if you looked up the word riff in the dictionary, of course you'd see a bunch of Black Sabbath, but this, I mean, just makes you want to vocalize it, and it's just this is what a riff is. It's if anybody was unclear on the concept, not necessarily listeners of this show, but say the random chick you work with in the office doesn't know what a riff is, well, play this for her, and she'll probably hate it, but she'll know what a riff is after hearing this. That's for sure.
She'll know what she's hating at least.
Right, and then right when you cut it off, we'll hear it throughout the song again, but like they play the riff fully through, and then he does the muted strings, and percussive, just blasting on the muted strings. Fucking brilliant. That adds all the extra Christmas to this riff. It's just crushing.
I'm gonna start it over.
All right.
I just want to hear that drum.
No, it makes sense.
There we go.
Man, that is brutal.
Oh yeah, it's
my goodness.
I said it before, I think, on the show, but I'll just say it again. Like, especially in this time period, these guys and Rage Against the Machine, those concerts, like if you saw them at a smaller venue when they were just on the way up, must have been just completely off the chain, ridiculous, incredible atmosphere. I mean, to have seen these guys in this era would have been amazing. I did not have I may have had the opportunity, but I never saw them. And those are the two bands in the '90s I kind of wish I'd seen just to be in that atmosphere. Because say what you want about either band, you like them or you don't, but their ability to whip a venue into an absolute frenzy is unmatched.
Sure. Yep.
I see you had your mind all made up. You grew up pitiful lives. Before I walked to face the day, your master plan transpired. Something told me.
Anselmo is
you
great.
You get a kick out of Anselmo.
I do get a kick out of Anselmo. He's just what a singularly weird guy, But I mean, again, this is them peaking as a band.
Yeah.
He's just, they're far along in their career. They're peaking. He's just fully immersed in being Phil Anselmo, and he's just fully, absolutely engaged in this, and it's just like grabs you by the throat. And yes, I am amused, entertained, appreciative of Phil Anselmo.
Yeah.
I think the guy is, had his issues. A lot of people don't like things that he said, thinking he maybe contributed to what happened to Dimebag, but in the context of this band, in this era of the band, I mean, they were unstoppable. He was a force of nature, as they all were.
And he's vocally here. It verges on other bands, which in my mind are kind of novelty, even though I think they're dead serious about it. Like, I don't want Andy to get upset, but like a Cannibal Corpse or something. You know, that to me gets into novelty territory with the growling and the grunting.
Yeah.
But Anselmo never went, like, he would still actually, he would do something other than that. His voice was powerful and melodic sometimes. He would break into that when he needed to. So in my mind, in my humble opinion, he would not be included in, you know, some of the bands. When you hear it, especially when you're younger, it's like, oh, this is funny because it's so crazy.
Well, the thing that people always say is it's a Cookie Monster vocalist.
But he somehow, I don't think, fits into that mold. Like,
no, he gives you enough of it to where it's like, you know, as brutal and heavy, but it's not full on.
Yeah, he does it, but he does other sorts of vocal style really well when he needs to, or when he wants to.
He could. Well, I don't know. I haven't really kept up with him, but
I imagine he can still.
I'm sure he still could. But I was gonna say he could sing a variety of ways very well. So, do we need lyrics or not yet?
I wouldn't mind.
All right. I see you had your mind all made up, you group of pitiful liars. Before I woke to face the day, your master plan transpired. Then he grunted, something told me.
Who is he talking about here? Do we know?
No,
Do we care?
But he's mad at a group of pitiful liars. They judged him before he...
It's not just one guy, I guess.
No. So we'll see.
And something told me. So
yeah.
He's again, this is someone who's a little off kilter mentally, and you know, short fuse. Doesn't take much to set this individual off, and that's where we're at here, I think.
He was awoken from his slumber by some otherworldly force that told him that these people had made their mind up about him.
Well, that's trouble.
Yeah, so we'll see how this goes.
It's no longer his problem alone, I think.
No.
Stop has brought him in the eye. My song is not believed. My words somewhat deceiving. Now I know you wage a war of nerves, but you can't cross the kingdom. Can't be what your idols are. Can't leave that sky. You cry for compensation. Yes, you please just give us.
These guys are on fire on this song.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
great mini, you know, momentary breakdowns,
and they're so weird and so out of left field. It's just like these guys brought such interesting stuff to the table. Just stuff completely out of nowhere. I mean, just really clever and interesting stuff. And that's just this is going to sound ridiculous, but I've said it before, and I will continue to say it. It's the same reason why I find Limp Bizkit musically interesting. There's an undercurrent of weirdness that I appreciate in just about anything, and when you can bring that to the table and apply it cleverly like this, and like, in my opinion, Limp Bizkit did in a lot of ways, I'm impressed by that. I respect that.
There's a Terry Date connection there.
Really?
Yeah. He did he did the Significant Other album and the Chocolate Starfish album.
Did not know that.
And
there you go.
Results may vary. Look at that.
I wonder how much of a hand he had in that. Like, because we know some producers are glorified engineers, and other ones dictate the musical direction of the band. like in a major way. So I mean, I honestly did not know of that connection, but that's the similarities I draw. It's just that weird off kilter white trash mindset coming into play and with great results. Mm-hmm. So what were the lyrics there?
Oh man. He said, "This job has more to meet the eye. My song is not believed, the question mark. My words somewhat deceiving, question mark. Now I'm unwhole. You've waged a war of nerves, but you can't crush the kingdom. Can't be what your idols are. Can't leave that scar. You cry for compensation. I ask you, please just give us 5 minutes alone." I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't either, but like I never looked up the lyrics to this.
No.
And I think it came from a movie where someone said something similar, and it was a police officer basically like to interrogate somebody. Just give me like 5 minutes alone with this guy.
Well, and that's
what I always thought was the storyline here.
Yeah.
But I don't
perhaps
think so.
Bronson and 10 to Midnight.
Yeah, something along those lines.
He pulls out the drill. Of course, he's not alone in the room, which is why they put a stop to what he was about to do. But
maybe Bronson and 10 to Midnight, or maybe Tackleberry in Police Academy.
Yeah, that's on the same level. But no, but whoever brought it to the lexicon originally, that's like one of the things that you see this song title and you just start cracking up because that's like it became a common thing. Like, just give me 5 minutes alone with that guy. It just became a common thing to say. So leave it to Pantera to create a song about it. Although it's hard to make sense.
The lyrical content in no way seems to reflect the cliched meaning of the phrase.
And he definitely has an interesting way with words. Little clumsy, little I don't know. It's not a smooth assembly of words, but the delivery. Yeah, it's all about the delivery. It doesn't really matter what he's saying.
As Andy was reading it, I'm like, "Oh, that's a lame line." I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." "Oh, that's lame." "Oh, you know what? That's pretty. That's
all over the place."
Yeah, that's different. But okay, that's stock. "Oh, that's different." So it's kind of all over the place. It's weird.
He's no Bob Dylan, but we don't expect him to be.
Yeah, I've never paid any attention to Pantera lyrics, to be honest. I just kind of think they're all about kicking someone's ass, no matter what he's actually saying.
Being pissed off about something.
Yeah. How awesome is it that Just Give It... that's synced up with the drums like that?
Yeah. That's my favorite part of the video, actually, because that's right where it cuts off Nick's 5 minutes alone video.
Okay.
It's like the very end of it. It's on par with Andy's bullshit at the end of...
Aaron sucks.
Yeah, exactly. I would equate those two as my favorite... This is an ending in the video. But actually the bullshit is the end of our promo video for the solo episode.
That's right,
so I would equate those two. Anselmo and Andy on the same level.
A lot of parallels there.
Just grunting out profanity or just angry sentiments.
Andy was
on that level.
With a couple of songs, that was Andy's. He did that. So he did.
Aaron
was
sucks.
Wow.
Listen back to that episode. I mean,
Andy was a
there's
screamer.
some legitimate anger there. Again, we say it all the time. The vocals. Whoever is delivering the vocals has got to be engaged in the subject matter. to make it convincing. We know we know that Andy legitimately thought that Aaron sucked, and it came through in the performance.
There you go.
I'm equating that with Anselmo on 5 Minutes Alone right now.
Maybe the most ridiculous but best compliment I've ever received.
Well,
So
like
I'll
I
take
said,
it.
listen to the very end of the promo video. I'll post that too. The promo video for our solo episodes, and then Nick's 5 Minutes Alone compilation. They're almost identical.
You can, if you close your eyes, you can see steam rising, swirling about.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
5 minutes
Now those single note runs that he does in most of their songs, and a couple times in that's when you really hear the Van Halen influence there. Mm-hmm. Just a crazy, like out of nowhere single note run. Not playing a single note, but it's not a chord or a riff.
Yeah.
It's like a solo as like solo style guitar as a rhythm section, a rhythmic part of the song.
But in this case, the bass is doubling it, which is cool.
Yeah.
Van Halen, you pretty much never get that. Michael Anthony's always
that's
kind of
true.
holding down a separate part.
What'd you do?
I read your eyes, your mind was made up. You took me for a fool. You used complexion of my skin for counter racist tool. You can't burn me.
What he's going on about in this one.
Used compression on my skin or something.
I think it's complexion of my skin.
Yeah, let me see what
Really?
he said. He said,
That's what I've always thought he said.
I read your eyes. Your mind was made up. You took me for a fool. You used complexion of my skin for a counter-racist tool.
Jeez.
Then he said, you can't burn me.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I don't know about that sentiment. You can't really get away with it. Not sure you could have gotten away with it back then, but definitely now completely off the table.
What is he saying? That someone is judging him for being white?
Someone's saying that he's a racist because
reverse
of how he looks?
racism, I think people call it. You're just not going to get
Is that
much
what-
sympathy for that.
Is that what that is, though, or no?
I don't know.
I think
I
you
thought-
guys are saying two different things.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I think it's more just being accused.
But that's what reverse racism is to me.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
didn't. Okay.
oh, you're pigeonholing me because I'm white, and that's the whole concept of racism is something perpetuated by white people. So when a white person claims they're being marginalized or whatever you want to say because of the complexion of their skin, that's reverse racism, is most people's definition. And you're just not going to get any sympathy for that stance.
yeah.
Certainly now, probably not then.
But Nick's saying that it's more like someone just accusing him of being a racist.
Like you're like projecting it onto
but
him.
again-
You're,
but again-
you're probably a racist.
Well,
Look
but-
at you.
but-
you know?
right, but you the black guy over there, he's black. He must be a criminal. That's racism. So when it comes back on a white guy, it's reverse racism.
Yeah, okay. It's
Because
just interesting
racism
that
is something that is thought to be perpetuated by white people on people of color. So when it comes back in the other direction, it's reverse racism.
Yeah. Even if it is an accusation of racism, it's still
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll
take
none
it.
of this made any sense to me.
It didn't, but the
I
long
don't-
and short of it
I don't know
is-
what we just said.
The long and short of it is nobody's going to have any sympathy for Mr. Anselmo, and what's he going to do to deal with this situation? He wants to get 5 minutes alone with the individual and kick the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but does he have a full list of people still, or is it just one guy? Did he whittle it down?
It sounded like it was one in the second
This
verse.
is like a crime drama where someone's got a list and they're trying to figure out what the victims had in common and who might be next.
Mr. Mustard in the library with a candlestick.
Yeah.
the musical representation of Clue, what we're listening to, 5 minutes long.
Ooh, I had no idea. All right, let's keep going.
Feel the guts out in the path, take it in bed and shove, 'cause you know where I come from. My past. You've waged a war of nerves, but you can't cross the kingdom. Give me what your idols are. Killing that sky. I'll bury your compensation. Yes, you wish to screw us.
Who's he asking for?
Yeah, I don't know. And then he give us 5 minutes. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think he's saying. Is he saying like you and me? We've got a problem. I ask you, give us 5 minutes alone. Like step away from everyone. Is this a let's step outside situation?
I don't.
I have a feeling the other person doesn't even know this is
no
happening.
idea. They think they're friends,
Yeah.
They don't even know this person.
or don't know him. It's the guy that works at the bakery. He's pissed off at him. He has no idea.
He's like, why is this guy taking his shirt off right now?
Yeah, exactly. Is it hot in here? What's going on?
Just asked him for a cream horn. I don't know what the problem is.
Give him the wrong one. Give him the small one.
Well, it's kind of like what we talked about.
That's not the chocolate dipped one, sir.
What we talked about
Shirt
in the
comes off.
Disturbed episode. It's like just people looking to have anything set them off, and they'll just unleash mayhem on somebody.
And just like in that episode, the visual that comes to mind immediately is from The Wrestler when he's cutting up the meat in the deli and he loses it. And
Yep.
it causes a scene, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although he was making the effort to be an even keel guy and just cross paths with the wrong person.
Yeah.
That old bag who just kept pushing his buttons.
Don't get me started about the types of people you run into at a deli.
Well, people are all particular about exact weight. It's like
Thickness.
Thickness.
thickness I kind of get, but like if you ask for 1.5 pounds of roast beef and it comes up 1.52 pounds, and you tell the guy to take it off.
What are you doing? Yeah.
And then it goes under, and you can put it back on, which is exactly what that old lady is doing in The Wrestler. It's like, suddenly you're a fucking math major, and you're particular about the 0.02 extra.
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, what?
Yeah,
Who does that? You know,
a lot of people apparently.
I can't stand.
I'm always behind them.
well,
Everyone is.
Right,
I can't
because-
stand waiting at the deli because everyone who goes to the deli has some weird particular issue that they have. And it slows everything down. It's like 30 minutes to go to the deli.
no, I get that.
Sometimes.
Yeah, but it's just like this. You really have to have it dead nuts accurate.
Yeah.
I mean,
whatever.
what kind of idiocy is this?
And then automatically what they follow it up with. Would you like anything else? Yes, I would.
of course.
It's never
never ends.
Never thank you. Have a nice
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
Of
When-
course.
when does it stop?
Let's move on to the next item.
Like, how much shit do you need right now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How many sandwiches are you making this week?
Sandwich after sandwich of olive loaf, sliced to my exact specifications.
Yeah.
That I get. Okay, the thickness thing, whatever. But the thing is, like, when they slice a piece and they hold it
Yeah.
up for their inspection, it's like, you can't fucking tell. I mean, if it's close enough,
Well, they give
fine,
it-
but
they
what are you going to
usually-
do? Get in there with a fucking ruler and see if it's to your exact how you want it? It's ridiculous.
I just go for whatever's pre-sliced, and they put it in the cooler out front. I'm like, that's fine.
They started doing that because all the other dickheads who are all particular about it.
Yeah.
But the people who need dead nuts accuracy on the weight they ask for, come on.
And doesn't it usually seem like all 8 people who are working the deli are working on this one person at the same time?
Always.
One person's cleaning something, and the other people are all running around rewrapping the loaves and
washing off a new cutting thing. I don't even know what that's called. It's deli slicer or whatever.
Horrifying.
And again, it's more often than not, it's a fat person who can't have the 0.02 over a pound and a half. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they're just trying to show off.
Yeah, come on now. It's just like
just deal with it.
Speechless, man.
Yeah.
But those are the kind of people who's like, give me 5 minutes alone with this asshole who can't deal with 1.52 on the scale. It's like, bring him in back and just fucking take a fucking full salami and just beat the shit out of him for 5 minutes.
I wouldn't mind a 5-minute timer for each person. Like, all right, don't goof around. This is all you got.
Yeah.
People are waiting.
It would work.
That would make for some interesting interaction.
The pressure is on. Everybody's sweating in that situation.
All right.
5 minutes alone. 5 minutes alone.
What did he say?
Headbutts of broken glass.
He said head bangs on broken glass.
Wow.
He's ramming a guy's head into a window, windshield, or something.
Down on a glass table,
and then
like that.
and then he's following up with smashing it on the pavement onto the broken glass. It sounds like.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, he's
Chaos.
got this all mapped out, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we're getting into solo section.
I
here,
think
aren't we?
so.
Here we go.
Got a nice riff.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah,
that last part was total Van Halen. It was just the influence coming through. But as for the rest of it, let me just put it to you in simple terms. Jack White ain't playing anything like that, okay?
Yeah.
And that's what it makes a guitar hero. You got to have that technical command of the instrument and that swagger, which Jack White has it for that type of music, but he's not like a guy from outer space who's just like so above everybody else. That's what a hero is.
Yeah.
Whether it's a superhero or a guitar hero, it's someone who's, you can't touch that. It's like, yeah, I'll try and play that, but I'm never going to be able to play that.
Yeah.
Jack White, you could probably pull that off. Not this. This is like signature or singular, unique talent and swagger and spades. That's what makes a guitar hero. And I can't think of one to emerge after him that I can think of off the top of my head.
I can't really think of anybody who's got a unique image and sound to that degree. I mean, sure, there are people who can technically, go on YouTube.
Everyone can.
There's a
apparently.
million people who are better than the best guitar player, out
Right.
there. But yeah, there's, as far as having the total package of a quote unquote guitar hero.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll think of one, but I don't know.
Well, open it up to the group. Our listeners are infinitely smarter and tuned in more to what's going on in the world, probably across the board, but certainly in terms of music. So,
I mean, I don't know if...
Let's hear what you have to say.
See, I don't know if this is... And I'm not even like a huge fan of this guy, but someone that I'm anticipating might get brought up is like Buckethead. I don't know. But then he's different too, because he's more of like the instrumental, kind of putting on a clinic is his show, instead of, you know, having a band with hit songs or, you know, known songs or anything like that, signature songs of their own.
I think that needs to be part of the criteria.
Maybe.
Yeah, and just stepping in and joining Guns N' Roses doesn't qualify you for that.
Yeah. Well, I know that Dave Mustaine never asked Jack White to join Megadeth, so there's a big difference between the two guys if we're comparing them.
And I don't know.
No, he did not.
I don't know that much of Jack White, but he seems like he's more of just like a musical, like it's certain types of music, like a total package kind of musical scholar for like poppy, bluesy rock.
Yeah, he's a throwback
like
to
like noise rock almost.
But he also has a appreciation for the Robert Johnsons and Sun Houses of the world and stuff, and that's admirable. And you know, he's seems like a cool guy, and
for sure,
and is put out some good music. But I don't qualify him as a guitar hero.
I think if you're gonna call like Johnny Ramone a guitar hero, then you'd put Jack White in there, a kind of almost a guitar anti-hero. Where typically you think of a guitar hero as like what we just heard, or like an Eddie Van Halen, someone all over the fretboard. But a lot of people, when they have their guitar hero lists, Johnny Ramone.
Well, yeah, it could still be. I guess
so. I would put Jack White in kind of that category. I think.
Sure.
Yeah, you put it that way, I would agree. But I would say they would
ironic
define
guitar hero.
Anti-hero is a good way to put it.
I'm sure that he's inspired many people to pick up a guitar.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. All right.
But in the classic sense, I would agree with Chris. I don't know that I would consider him to be a guitar hero in the classic sense.
No. And it's, again, a lot of it is, and him and Johnny Ramone were rebelling against this kind of guitar playing. Although Jack White certainly has an appreciation for it. I mean, he, played a Eddie Van Halen model on SNL shortly after Eddie passed away, and had been playing one recently, even before that happened. And Johnny Ramone, Marshall Stacks, and all that stuff. So elements of the classic guitar hero thing, but in terms of the actual playing, definitely more anti-hero. But I can't think of anybody who's emerged since Dimebag who laid it out there like this.
Just imagine how many people got nailed, blindsided to this guitar riff.
Injured, eye sockets broken, teeth knocked out, noses broken.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
Someone heat-seeking you from 20 feet away.
Yeah,
you have no idea.
This is the section of the song where, like you just said, if you're looking for someone to destroy, this is where you go for it. If you use the rest of the song to find that person, this is the part where I would imagine nobody on the floor is safe. No way.
This is not like a part where you're in the pit or around the perimeter of it.
Yeah.
And you're getting hit only. This is probably the entire floor.
Yep.
Is in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which has to be, I think, a cool feeling if you're in the band. But also, like, take it easy. I'd be thinking, like, don't kill anyone.
And, you do hear that, in some live recordings, you'll see that people will stop the song because someone's getting really, really hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know if Pantera was that kind of band that did that. If they stopped or they were just like, hey, we're going to keep on trucking. I don't know.
But, yeah, I mean, the closest thing, well, not closest, the equivalent, the one time I was in that situation was when I saw Slayer in '88 on the South of Heaven tour. I got the hell out of because it was called Stadium Arena in Grand Rapids. It was a fucking airplane hangar with a stage at the end and like rows of high school basketball bleachers on either side, but it was just a complete empty facility. Mm-hmm. And I was pretty far up close because Motorhead was the opening band. Overkill was also on the bill. But I got pretty up close because I was really into Motorhead. Still am, obviously. But so I was up close. But when Slayer started up, I was like, I'm backing up, man. These people are fucking insane.
Did you know that before they started up?
I was not prepared for that. It was the atmosphere at that concert was ridiculous. And I actually mean that in a good way. I mean, I've said before that it's not really my kind of music that I prefer, but that's easily in my top 3 concert experiences of all time. Just the whole atmosphere and the way that the band ignited that crowd. I've never seen anything like it since. It was ridiculous. But I got the fuck back quickly.
Yeah.
Because it was nuts in there. Some real legitimate psychos. No question about it. I mean, it was, man, and then after the show, when the place started to empty out, you look on the floor, it was alternating puddles of vomit and empty liquor bottles. Like glass bottles were being allowed in. Well, not allowed in, but smuggled in.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's when you realize it's like somebody could have been fucking killed, and it could have been me in here, you know. But it was mayhem, incredible, unbelievable, and that's why I wanted to see, or would have liked to have seen, Pantera and Rage Against the Machine in the '90s, because it would have been like that, if not even more intense.
I typically search for guitar picks that maybe someone didn't catch.
Well, yeah, it's a good place to find them. In a puddle of puke or in a broken glass.
I don't know that I ever have, though. Did you guys ever catch a pick? I got one at a Megadeth show.
Didn't you have a Nick Menza pick?
It was a Nick Menza pick.
How weird. Yeah. They're just like throwing them out.
Yeah. All the guys had them.
Even the drummer. I never caught a pick, but when we went to go see Kiss, what was that like? Was that 2018? No, it was 2019. Early 2019 when we were all there but not together. Yeah. We were like, we were pretty close. I think we actually were on the front of where it started rising.
Right.
And some guy, like a crew guy, came over and gave my daughter a Paul Stanley pick. But it was like, I mean, it's still cool, very cool. But it wasn't like one he was using. It was just like this crew guy had a bunch of picks and was giving them to people. But yeah, it was nice. But I never caught one thrown by the guitar player of a band.
Yeah, me neither.
All right.
I ask you, please just give us 5 minutes alone. Just give it 5 minutes alone. I ask you, please just give us. 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 I ask you, please just give us.
What's he saying there? I ask you, please just give me.
I think he's saying give us.
Oh,
but yeah.
But Sunlee is being all polite about it, saying please.
Well, he's been saying that throughout the song. That's the I ask you, please just give us. But yeah,
that just occurred to me.
He's
though. It's
repeating
like
it.
so he's sprinkling a little politeness
He is,
in.
yeah.
Oh, you catch
A
more
kill him
flies.
with kindness guy. Yeah, right, exactly. I ask you, please, take the .02 off my stack of roast beef. I can't have that. It's got to be dead nuts, £1.50 pound, or I'm not leaving.
That's
Ridiculous.
basically taking the whole deli hostage.
It's true,
What's
though.
wrong with
It's
these
like,
people?
Again, these are mentally ill people who can't get past this weird OCD obsession of theirs, and they're mingling around in public. Scary stuff, man. If you think about it too much, you'll never leave your house again, because what we've learned more than ever over the past several months, at least every other person you encounter out there in the world is a fucking nutbag, stupid idiot. And it's just like, it's almost like Roddy Piper and They Live. It's like, okay, who's the fucking psycho?
Yeah.
And who's the normal person?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's scary out there, man. That must have been a fun day of vocal tracking on that.
I was just gonna say that must have been, from a producer standpoint, the easiest thing or the hardest thing ever. That outro vocally.
Yeah.
Either you just turn all the faders on of everything we just recorded the last couple hours, or that had to be really tough to edit.
Yeah.
I think he probably got it down pat by then. But that's the other thing that's cool about Pantera from an old school perspective. Big fans of the fade out. You don't hear that a lot, even back then or anymore, really. Songs just end like they do in concert. But,
Yeah.
That or Walk is another one that fades out. Mm-hmm. It's kind of an old school approach to things, which is kind of cool that they embraced it.
All right. Since I chose this song off the list from our pal Mike Joslin, I will vote first, and I will give it a Sweet Surrender.
It's Sweet Surrender! Hell yes!
Sounded great listening to it today. I haven't listened to Pantera in a couple of years, but Pantera's a very useful tool to have in your arsenal of music. Whether it's like you're actually mad about something, or you just, if you're trying to do some kind of physical feat exercise or something, you know what I mean? Like Pantera's good for letting out frustration.
Yeah.
Or for firing you up, one or the other.
Right.
Altering your mental state.
Absolutely, no question about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we...
Yeah, you might turn into Curly Howard when he hears "Pop Goes the Weasel" or something.
It is that kind of trigger. The Susquehanna Hat Company is another one. And a lot of people. I'll just go ahead and vote "Sweet Surrender" for me.
Okay.
And
It's Sweet Surrender! Hell yes!
I'm sure a lot of people are out there like, well, how can you like this and not like the Disturbed stuff? And all I can say is, if you can't hear the difference in quality between those two things, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to sit down and analyze and convince you that they're not the same thing, but they're not even in the same ballpark. I mean, this is like the complete both ends of the spectrum, even though to some people it might sound almost identical. Couldn't be further apart in terms of quality.
Agreed.
I mean, and I don't know how to explain that to someone who just doesn't hear it, but yeah, no, it's definitely puts you in a mindset, puts certain people in the wrong mindset that they probably shouldn't be in. But you listen to that, you can't. There's no way to, if you either reject it outright and you won't listen to it all, or you listen to it and just sort of embrace the fact that it's boiling something up inside of you that is oddly attractive, and it's something that exists in everyone. So I think for most people, it's pushed way, way down, and it takes a hell of a lot to bring it up, but it's in everyone. And like we talked about earlier, if that's your daughter whose life has been destroyed by fucking Nassar, you're going to want to charge at that motherfucker if he's across a room from you.
Of course.
So that level of carnality can be brought out of anyone. It's just a question of what it takes. But this is a way to tap into it, I think, and recognize that it's somewhere inside of you, and ideally you don't let it get out of hand, but this is a way to sort of dabble in that dark side of someone's psyche.
All right. Nick?
Yes, that pleases me.
All right.
It's sweet surrender. Hell yes.
Really, for this genre of music, or just for me in my teenage years, a pretty iconic song. Mm-hmm. Parts that I'd forgotten about, as soon as I heard them, I'm like, oh yeah, that pops in my head on like a weekly basis too. So a lot, like musically, a lot of great stuff. Just brutal, just really, really brutal, heavy. There's always innovation and progression in technology and technique and things like that, but I don't think anything can be heavier than this.
Yeah,
from a heavy metal standpoint.
Well, if you ask, I think in the Pantera Behind the Music episode, they had Terry Dade on there, and I think it was this Great Southern Trendkill where he said that's it, and that was when they did the sound scan for the record chart, so you actually got accurate sales statistics placing songs on charts versus airplay surveys or whatever it was. And he said they set out to make the heaviest album they possibly could, and it debuted at number one. He was very proud of that. Mm-hmm. So I think he points to, an album or two after this just continuing to ratchet up the heaviness and the aggression.
Yeah.
Well, I guess then maybe a band. I don't know of a band that's heavier.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, it sounds processed. This is right at the edge where it still doesn't sound. It still sounds real. Yeah. It still sounds raw, even though there's a lot. Chris pointed out the drums earlier. The drums, there's almost no dynamic in Vinnie Paul's drumming that I've heard. Mm-hmm. But still, there's a rawness to it. So it's like right there where if you do try to take it further, it's going to sound phony. So,
well, who would have thought, guys?
Who would have thought? All right, Hammond, I got a question for you.
Paul Stanley needs to know. If 5 Minutes Alone is a rock and roll boner classic, as voted by the 3 rock and roll boners in this room.
Oh,
Handle on the wrong side.
There goes Andy.
Rammed into the boom arm.
have a cookie.
I can't do it.
Hey, have a cookie.
I'll keep one, though. Look at it for a while. Until I break and eat it. I'm a man of great discipline, you know
The
this.
cardamom is a nice touch.
Yeah.
Very pleasant aftertaste. If you're a fan of aftertaste, these cookies are for you.
I'm a fan of aftertaste. I'm yawning.
Pantera took it out of you.
I got nothing left in the tank. One Pantera song and a pair of headphones. A pair of blue headphones.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, people listening at home, I don't know that they can really hear just how brutal it sounded
Yeah, for us.
to us here.
Well, and something else we talk about a lot is in credit to the band and also the producer, but yeah, there's space in Pantera music. You
Yeah.
know, it's not all just filled up with sound, and like when the band would drop out and then just a snare hit would crack in, it's just like still resonating in my skull.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what you want when you're listening to Pantera. I mean, the production is perfect for this kind of music.
It is.
Really well done.
You know, one of the Pantera songs that pops into my head regularly, though, is not one of their groovy songs. It's the opening track on this album, Strength Beyond Strength. That's like complete chaos right off the bat. No space in that one. That's just full blast.
Yeah, well, you know, they mix it up.
They
and,
do, yeah.
But whatever it takes for each particular song.
Yeah.
My vote's in.
My vote is in. Nick? Mm-hmm. All right. I guess we'll go Andy, Nick, Chris. I don't know, since I picked it.
Sure.
I'm going to give it a rock.
Roll.
Bona.
Holy balls.
And he got it! It's a rockin' ball. Are you kidding me? Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
I mean, it had to happen. It's an Anselmo-esque outburst from PDW.
It always works, doesn't it?
Well,
It seems like it when a song makes it to that point. I
just
almost
an
always have
explosion
the
of
thought
pent-up energy.
that, you know, hey, he could have probably pulled it off.
Well, in that moment,
Yeah.
I mean,
That was as close to a Pantera concert in the mid '90s on the lanes. That's as close as it gets on the PBA
it
tour.
was like exactly the palpable tension in the room. You didn't think if he was going to charge into that crowd at that moment. You knew he wanted to.
yeah.
There was one particular guy he was directing that at, who was so kind of heckling him, I guess, throughout that.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, incredible.
I didn't realize that. I thought he just lost his mind.
No, I think there was
No.
a certain guy that he was directing that towards.
Yeah,
Even better.
because you know those bowling events, you know, everybody's in close quarters. You don't know what's going on in the commercial breaks.
Yeah.
Who's saying what?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was directing that at a particular individual in the crowd. Great. Love to have him on the show at one point.
See what we can do.
Him and Retarded Boys Room.
So the
The
two.
top of the list. Maybe Anka at the top three.
All right, well, if you disagree with us, we're sorry.
That's just the fucking way it is.
There he is.
Another Anselmo-esque outburst.
Yeah, different tone in his voice, but the same emotion behind it for sure.
Roaring air conditioner going on in the background, contributing to the cacophony of noise. An uncomfortable situation. Think about it. You're being torn a new one, and just this raging air conditioner is going on. It's just like, what is this? A sensory deprivation chamber?
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
You just want to leave.
Yeah.
You want it to be over with. All right. Well, guess what time it is, guys?
I don't get yards of questions. Motherfucker, I give them.
No way.
Yes, she.
I forgot about that. Another great addition to the show.
Oh, yeah.
Another one of his Nick's outstanding production pieces.
Oh boy.
It's as good as it gets.
Incredible. That was another Anselmo-esque outburst
Oh,
from
that was-
Jim Brown.
He's gonna.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, guy's concerned he's gonna have a stroke. He's
Actually,
going so
leading
crazy.
up to it is the more Anselmo outburst. He
Yeah.
actually ratcheted it back slightly for that last bit. Eat your no-playing asses! Incredible acting performance you wouldn't expect from a former athlete.
with Harbaugh-esque teeth grinding and
yeah.
spit
Fucking
flying
amazing.
out. Almost Harbaugh-esque.
Yeah.
The angriest man in the NFL.
All right.
Well, not right now.
Who knows? Ooh, okay, this Yardo Questions comes to us from Kyle Van Rock. Kyle says, a small dose of Kiss material for 2021.
Oh.
Taking it back here. Question 1. Other than the title track, what, if any, songs do you like from the Paul Stanley Live to Win album?
Where Eagles Dare. I think it's the last track. That's the best one, in my opinion.
I'm completely unfamiliar with the album, so I don't have an answer.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
you had it. No?
I've got the
live.
Concert video, and actually I have the album downloaded. What are some of the songs from Live to Win that are on there?
There's Bulletproof.
Yeah.
That's how he says it on that live album.
Then there's one. What, Every Time I See You Around is
Yeah.
the ballad, kind of ballad.
That
That's
wouldn't be it for me.
There's that one that sounds like a Kelly Clarkson
Does he do It's
song.
All About You on the live one, or no?
I don't think so.
No. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that album, so I don't think I have an answer.
All right. Well, that was easy. Question 2. I'm sure by now you've seen some clips from the Dubai concert. What were your thoughts? I watched it early on New Year's Eve with a group of casual and non-Kiss fans and thought it was actually very entertaining.
I've seen almost nothing from it, so
I've seen absolutely nothing of it.
Andy,
Haven't really been interested.
have you?
I was sent a link
To the whole thing?
by a friend.
Who is it? Can you give us their name?
I don't think I'm supposed to.
Oh, okay.
He knows who he is. Good guy.
It's
good
a guy.
buddy.
It's a guy.
Good-
That narrows it down.
That narrows it down to everyone who listens to this show.
No, I personally haven't seen very much of it at all. I think
Did
I
you
saw
watch
a very,
it?
very
No,
brief
not yet.
clip.
Oh, you have an active link where we can watch it?
Yes.
Circulate that around and
I'll
I
do.
might watch it. But
Will
up
do.
to this point, I've watched none of it.
I watched 30 seconds, maybe. So I'm not counting that. That was about it.
Well, there were no at all surprises in the set list, right? Or we don't even know that.
I didn't
do we?
look at the set
I
list.
really haven't either, but I would imagine there isn't any sort of surprise.
I don't know.
I wouldn't even know.
My opinion, not that anyone asked, but from watching it for 30 seconds, not a fair thing to judge it on. I just feel like Kiss is so great when you're there in person. And as crazy as, all the explosions and the gigantic stage and all that stuff is, I feel like you got to be there for Kiss.
Yeah,
It just adds so much.
that's all part of the appeal.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't think any of us can answer that question.
No, but apparently they have world records. Biggest flame.
Oh, good.
All right. Question 3. During the Talk is Jericho episode, Chris L. did a watch-along of the Kiss Animalized Uncensored concert. One of the other guests brought up the lost video for I off of Elder that was shelved. Have you seen it, and what do you think?
Boy, I'm batting 3 for 3. I've never seen it.
Well, he says if you haven't, here's a link.
So wait, it's an actual like filmed music video, like edited, choreographed, whatever.
I guess. Let me see.
That I've never seen. I mean, I saw the performance on Fridays.
Yeah, I think everybody's seen that.
That's about as far as I go, though. With that,
was it in the World Without Heroes style, kind of?
It almost looks like the same. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
As World Without Heroes?
Yeah, I can't think of what that set looks like, but they've got an audience here, so. Maybe it's like the Fridays.
Are there clips from any of the Short Circuit movies?
We'll have to watch that.
The finest video, the single finest video on the Pot of Thunder YouTube
I was
site.
very proud of that.
As you should be.
Extremely proud of that one. Here, I'm going to send it to you guys. Sorry we don't have an answer for you.
No, but I'm curious to see it.
We will check it out.
And I do like that song, so.
Yeah, I batted 0 for 3 in that one. I didn't have any answers for any of them.
Hey, sometimes that's the way it goes, Chris.
Yes, it is.
Kyle says, still a huge fan of the show.
Well, I hope so.
And hope you still enjoy recording it as much as we enjoy listening to it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but that's why we continue to do it, because so many people derive enjoyment from it. It's still fun, obviously. That's why we do it, but...
Well, now that we're not snacking anymore, I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's definitely something missing.
That might be, yeah. Well...
You have sank my
like
battleship.
It's Andy and I's fault for just letting ourselves go to the point where we're just complete catastrophes.
That's the actual problem. Yeah.
Oh, it is a problem.
All right, well, thank you, Kyle Van Rock, for your Yordo questions. And if anybody wants to send... Oh, Nick, you didn't answer.
What?
Did you answer?
Yeah.
You did. What you said,
as much
yeah?
as I could. I never saw it, but I'm curious to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
I like the song.
Didn't know it existed, so...
Okay.
I will watch it as soon as we're done.
All right. I sent it to you. Thank you, Kyle, for that. Thank you for listening, and thank you to everybody else who's listening this week. If you want to add a Yardo questions, go to potofthunder.com. You'll find the button. It's easy. You could add some songs to the listener submission list. Your chance is as good as anybody's. And, you know, should we send Mike another sticker? I think we have to, don't we? What are the rules?
It's up to you.
Maybe I ask Mike, do you want one of these? Because if so, it's yours. Them's the rules.
I wonder how much he benefited from getting his first one.
Greatly, I assume. What are you doing over there, Nick?
Getting ready for the outro.
Okay.
What do you think I'm doing?
Now,
Caught me snoozing.
Now I'm curious.
Son of a gun.
Nick can't find his papers.
Well, this is all on the fly here.
You don't have anything written on them? You're looking at the notes trying to guess what it is?
No, I haven't written.
Marry the podcast. Is that what you're looking for?
I don't, but that one would be probably just kind of randomly hit the... randomly punching out notes, because...
That's what it is?
That song made no sense.
Yeah.
That was all over the place.
Alright.
I don't know.
Well.
No idea. Ready. Ready when you are.
Pull it. Pull the trigger.
Oh, come here, you stupid thing.
We'll be back next week.
It's not working so well. Here we go.
That's all I had.
Did you just... hit us with
with the Christmas song.
yeah,
I did.
yeah, you did.